What's happening? What's happening with it, y'all? Y'all already know you tuned in to another episode of Everything Boxing. And when you come in the building, make sure that you smash on the like button and make sure that you sub to the channel if you're not a sub to the channel already. And hop in the comment section, let me know you're in the building. There you go, talking that boxing again. Yeah, boxing, man. Oh shit, boxing. A lot of bad things going on in boxing. Phil J 508, what's happening with it? Oh, this is crazy. Things that's been going on in boxing is crazy. What's happening with y'all? Like I said, when you come in the building, smash on the like button and let me know that you in the building. Jump in that comment section. Phil J, he said, I took time off of work for both Wilder and Spence. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, I don't know. It's crazy the things that's going on in boxing. How it looks like that ever since the pandemic took place, it's affected boxing more than any other sport. Um, Phil J, you still going to the are you still gonna go to that fight to watch Pacquiao and Ugas? I'm not. I canceled everything, man. I want a refund on everything. I'm not going to that fight no more. Harry Jones, what's happening with it? Yeah, Phil J, let me. Is you still going up there? Wow. Check this out. I just got a news break alert on my phone. It says mother of three who got $200,000 in donations for rent admits that she was just a babysitter. Hey, wow. She hustled people out of $200,000 in donations and talking about that she needed help for her rent. And she was just babysitting. Shit, I need to run me a donation scam. They giving out money like that. God dang. G Lex, what's happening with it? Cassandra Mason, the queen in the building. What's going on with it, Cassandra? Phil J 508 said he ain't going. Yeah, man, ain't nobody wanna. Most people, hey, that fight, I don't know how it's gonna do, but we'll see. I know I'm not going. Hanky Stanky 420 OG, what's happening with it? Yeah, the EJ hate, like this when you see shit really get real and how the hate and the envy really is when things like this happen. They come out of everywhere. But we're gonna get into it. Harry Jones Jr. says, I'm still going. I need to relax and reset. I feel you. You know what? And I thought about that too, Harry. I thought about, man, because I was like, man, I need a vacation like that. I ain't been to Vegas in a long time, and I thought about still going, but I said, not for the prices that I was paying for that room. Uh-uh. Nah. If the room was a regular price fees, yeah, I would have probably still, went out there, but not for the prices that I was paying for that room. Ain't no way in hell I was still gonna go to, what I'm saying, to go out there for a Pacquiao and Errol Spence. And then the prices of the tickets. Oh nah. That ain't the same fight. It ain't the same. Nah. Not at all. Mike Rhymes says, I'll say it again. It's going to be a Jeff Horn episode, but on some real shit. We'll see, man. We'll see. I ain't going to. We'll see. Ugas can fight, though. Knockout. What's happening with it? Knockout. Everybody go show Knockout Boxing 86 TV some love and make sure that you go subscribe to him. Real talk, he one of the best doing it on YouTube. You know, I know y'all, a lot of y'all base shit off of how many subscribers that somebody got. Just because a motherfucker got a whole bunch of subscribers, that don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean nothing. So if you want to listen to one of the best knowledgeable boxing heads that's out here doing it, make sure that y'all go subscribe to Knockout Boxing 86 TV. He ain't been doing it long, but he one of the best by far out here doing it. And that's some real stuff. Yeah, Cassandra, yeah. And that's another unfortunate situation. And y'all hit my like button as you come in the building. I know they not sending my notifications out, you know. That ain't nothing new. But make sure that y'all hit the like button so they can send the notifications out. Body Works Boxing, what's happening with it? Yeah, KO, Knockout Boxing. Yeah, he's hella knowledgeable. So let's start off by talking about the fights that's going on this weekend. You know, hopefully the fights that we do get. I'm excited about this Virgil Ortiz and Ugas Kavaliauskas fight for real. You know, I talked about it a little bit yesterday, and I want to touch on it again. What do y'all? I see Ortiz beating Ugas Kavaliauskas, and I see Ortiz beating Kavaliauskas anywhere inside of 8 rounds. I see Ortiz beating Kavaliauskas anywhere inside of 8 rounds. So with that being said, if he goes out there and looks spectacular against Ugas Kavaliauskas, and he looks better than Terrence Crawford does, what does that mean to y'all if that happens? Because I'm telling y'all, I'm looking for Virgil Ortiz to go out there and show out. And he might beat Kavaliauskas in much spectacular fashion than Bud did. Because we know Bud had a tough time with Kavaliauskas. Bud had a very tough time with Kavaliauskas until he really figured him out. And, you know, he just started stalking him. And you know, Kavaliauskas didn't have that dog in him. So if you go back and watch the Ugas Kavaliauskas and Bud Crawford fight, of course, Bud Crawford has more skills than Kavaliauskas does. But you know what ended that fight? What was the be-all in that fight? It wasn't Bud Crawford's skills. It was Bud Crawford's dog, right? It came down to a dog fight. And Ugas Kavaliauskas folded because he didn't have that dog in him like Bud did. If Ugas Kavaliauskas had that dog in him like Bud did, that might have been an all-out war for 12 rounds. But he didn't have that dog in him. And when, you know what I'm saying, and he gassed, right? He couldn't keep up with the pace that Terrence Crawford turned on in the second half of the fight. He was trying to bang with Crawford, and Crawford got dog in him, and Crawford, he wasn't going back down, right? And Crawford kept coming, and Ugas Kavaliauskas didn't have that dog. But we know that Virgil Ortiz, he got dog in him. We don't know how much of dog in him he got, but he got dog, he got boxing skills, and he can hit like a mule. So with that being said, and he goes to the body very well. He do everything very well in the ring. So with that being said, if he go out here and make a statement out of Ugas Kavaliauskas, what does that say about Terrence Crawford? I mean, Does it take anything away from Terrence Crawford if Virgil Ortiz beat him up worse than what Terrence Crawford did? Because see, one thing that we do know is that Terrence Crawford is a great fighter, but he don't have great fighters on his resume. So what does this do? Um, and I'm gonna read some of y'all comments and y'all hit the like button. You know, if y'all can't do nothing else, hit the like button. Support the channel, hit the like button. Um, Harry Jones Jr. said he got Virgil Ortiz in 3. Damn, that's early, dog. That's early. If he go out there and knock out Ugas Velasquez in 3 rounds, man, first of all, that's going to do some big things for Virgil Ortiz because everybody going to be talking about it. And as far as Bud Crawford, I don't know if that's going to be a good look on Bud. I don't know, man. Phil J508 say 17-0 with 17 KOs. That boy got 100% knockout ratio. That's big time right there. That's big time right there. Wendell Jackson says, yeah, I think Ortiz hit too hard for Mean Machine. Them shots Ortiz put on Hooker was very impactful. Yeah, and like if you didn't know, hold on, y'all, man. And if you didn't know, like I said the other day, I told y'all Virgil Ortiz, he announced that during camp for the Maurice Hooker fight, he caught COVID-19, right? So he caught COVID-19 during camp for Maurice Hooker. And he said that he was very sick throughout camp. And he said he wasn't able to train with anybody. He had to train in the gym by himself. He said he could barely hit the heavy bag at points in times. And he said he wasn't even confident that he was going to be able to go in there and beat Maurice Hooker because he said he was only about 70% of himself at most. So he said, you know, he still wasn't even fully recovered from COVID-19 when he fought Maurice Hooker. Of course, he had tested negative, but he said he was still feeling sick in the after effects of COVID-19. So he said it wasn't until he stepped inside of the ring that he started gaining confidence that, yo, I'm going to beat this guy. I'm going to go and give it everything I got tonight, and I'm not going to leave out of this ring without winning this fight. So that makes you say, if he hadn't caught COVID-19 and Virgil Ortiz was 100%, what would that fight have to look like with Maurice Hooker? How early would he have stopped Maurice Hooker? Would he had got hit as much as he did in the Maurice Hooker fight? And salute to Virgil Ortiz because he shows what a real soldier he is. He didn't even mention nothing about that. The first time that I found out that he had COVID-19 during the Maurice Hooker camp is a few days ago when he told everybody. Nobody knew that. So he could have made an excuse right after the Maurice Hooker camp. I mean, right after the fight with Maurice Hooker, when everybody was saying, oh, he got touched up by Maurice Hooker. He got hit a lot. He could have said, look, I had COVID-19. I wasn't 100% in this fight. I was only, 65, 70% of myself in this fight. But he didn't do that. So, salute to Virgil Ortiz, a real stand-up dude. And I didn't even see the comment that my man Hanky Stanky 420 made. But look, that's exactly what I was saying. His comment says, Ortiz, a barn burner. Ortiz was getting touched up by Hooker, so it should be interesting when he gets touched. You see? Now, I didn't read that comment before I said what I just said. Y'all see, a lot of people was getting on Ortiz because they were saying he was getting touched up by Maurice Hooker, not knowing that Ortiz was nowhere near 100% in that fight, and he had just had COVID during the Maurice Hooker camp. So I'm looking forward to seeing Virgil Ortiz, because Virgil Ortiz don't usually get touched up a lot. He doesn't usually get touched up like he was doing in that Maurice Hooker fight. So that explains a lot. What's happening with it? Keith James, what's happening with it? Yeah, and as y'all come in the building, make sure they smash the like button, because they don't like to send out my notifications. You know, so smash the like button so they can. Yeah, what's good with it, Juan Ramos? Yeah, what's good with it? Troll Killer, Mr. Sheldon off in the building. The Queen Sheena off in the building. Yeah, they couldn't wait. They couldn't wait, Mr. Sheldon. And we gonna get on their ass. We gonna get on them. You know what I'm saying? You better believe that. So that's a hell of a fight this weekend. Ugas Kavaliauskas versus Virgil Ortiz. Hopefully, let's pray and let's cross our fingers that this fight actually take place. Like I said, we can't depend on none of these fights actually going down until these fighters are in the ring now. Even when they get their hands wrapped and they in the dressing room, you can't even, get excited that the fight gonna take place. Boxing is crazy. It's been a lot of black eyes to boxing, and over and over. And with that being said, right, hit my like button. And if you've seen the news that I posted earlier, now David Benavidez Jr., he is not going to be fighting Jose Uzukataki on August the 28th. That fight is off. David Benavidez, he caught COVID. He has COVID, and now that fight is off. So that's another fight down the drain that we won't be getting. And we all know that the Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence fight is off. But if you didn't know, some of y'all might know, but if you didn't know, right, my man Yordenis Ugas, he was supposed to fight Fabian Maidana. Fabian Maidana is the brother of Marcos Maidana. So that fight was supposed to happen. And Fabian Maidana, he actually suffered the same injury as Errol Spence did, right? So listen to this. This is crazy, right? And it's like it's a curse in boxing running around, right? So Yordenis Ugas was supposed to be fighting Fabian Maidana on the undercard of Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence. Errol Spence had to pull out, we know, because Errol Spence has a tear in his retina, right? Fabian Maidana actually he announced that he had to pull out of the fight also because he tore his retina. So with that being said, right, Yordenis Ugas was actually going to be left with nobody to fight on the undercard. Ain't that crazy? If the situation with Errol Spence hadn't happened, Yordenis Ugas, he was gonna be left on the undercard with nobody to fight. Ain't that crazy? That's real crazy. Yordenis Ugas, they probably would have had to move that fight off of the undercard already. And yeah, that's nuts, because I think Yordenis Ugas, he was supposed to fight somebody else originally on the undercard of Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao. And then the opponent that he was supposed to fight originally had to pull out because something happened. And then they replaced him with Fabian Maidana. So it's like boxing is a fucking, like, you playing Ring Around the Rosie and shit. It's crazy. We can't even put our brains around this. It's so much change going on in boxing. Every day is something new. We don't know. For fans that's buying these tickets to these boxing events, it's like, do you even want to spend money and buy tickets to go to live boxing events now? Because all of the things that's going down, you don't know who's going to be in the ring with who. And now you already bought a ticket, and now you got to go through the difficulty of trying to cancel the ticket and get your refund and all of that. Like, you don't even want to spend money to, spend money on hotels and plane tickets and tickets to the fight. You don't know what's going to happen now. It's crazy. Yeah, right. Exactly, right, Mr. Sheldon. That's a good point. Ain't nobody said Madonna was faking his injury in ducking Ugas, but we gonna get into that later, like I said. Jay Triller says, yeah, that Canelo replacement clause ain't looking too crazy now, is it, huh? First of all, yeah, it is looking crazy. If that's where you want to go. If you want to go with that. Matter of fact, Jay Triller, if you want a link, I'll shoot you a link, right? Because I got time today. I'll shoot you the link if you want a link. But yeah, that Canelo Alvarez replacement clause is looking crazy, right? Because once, and I'm going to tell you why I was looking crazy. How can you say if Caleb Plant gets hurt or sick, I get to take another fight, but you guys got to pay me the same amount of money that you was going to pay me to fight Caleb Plant. No matter who it is I come up with, y'all got to pay me the same amount of money, right? But if I get hurt or sick, Caleb Plant has to wait for me to come back. He can't take no fights in between. So that means if I tear my ACL, if I get COVID and I don't recover for months or whatever it may be, Caleb Plant, he got to sit on the shelf and wait for me, right? But I don't have to do the same thing. And I get the same amount of pay. That shit don't sound outrageous to you? Come on now. Let's keep it 100. Cut out the bullshit, man. Get off the boo-boo. Get off the boo-boo. Come on, man. You know that shit ain't right. But like I said, Jay Triller, I mean, if you want the link, all you got to do is type in yes in the chat. So Errol Spence and the Canelo situation is not the same situation at all. You can't even compare those situations. Knockout say, that's so stupid. If Pacquiao agreed to this shit, y'all want Plant to agree to then Pacquiao would have to wait on Spence right now. How does that shit make sense? Exactly. If Errol Spence had to put, I already know he ain't coming in here, bro. He's smarter than that. You know what I'm saying? He like to troll, when Canelo name is mentioned, but he's smarter than to come in here and get this smoke. But yeah, that's just like my man Knockout Boxing 86 TV said. If Pacquiao had to agree, right? So if Errol Spence had to put some bullshit ass demands in his contract to fight Pacquiao, if Pacquiao had to agree to that, right now, Pacquiao would have to sit on the shelf and wait until Errol Spence comes back to the sport. Does that sound right? Come on now. DP Rocker, what's happening with it? Ali Urshad, what's happening with it? But yeah. So Uppercuts Boxing Nation, what's good with it, brother? But yeah, so now, like I said, David Benavidez is off. David Benavidez and Jose Uzukataki, that fight is off now, right? We're not going to be able to see that fight. And that's another fight that was supposed to take place, right? In Phoenix. I was going to go to that fight. It was going to be on August the 28th, a week after the Errol Spence. That's right up the street from me. So I was going to go to that fight. And I'm disappointed that fight is not happening. It's going to take place right here in Phoenix Suns Stadium. you know, and it was going to be a hell of a fight because I was looking forward to seeing Jose Uzukataki and David Benavidez Jr. for the simple fact is I know that Jose Uzukataki is a strong fighter. He gonna come forward and he gonna bang and he gonna make it an exciting fight. And we all know David Benavidez is one of the best fighters in all of boxing, and he is gonna put on an exciting show every time he step in the ring. In that fight between David Benavidez and Uzukataki, it was gonna be a war. Like that fight was finna be an all-out war. And David Benavidez, he just has said, look, I gotta be on my P's and Q's like never before when I get in the ring with Jose Uzukataki because I know that he's a bigger puncher than anybody I've been in the ring with, you know? And so when you see David Benavidez just walking forward and taking punch after punch and he not caring, right? Yeah, DP Rocker, yeah, I'm out here. Yep. And he not caring, you dig what I'm saying? He not caring because these fighters that he been in the ring with lately, they ain't really got power like that. Well, you're not going to be able to do that with Jose Uzukataki because he has power. You know what I'm saying? And you're just not going to take punches repeatedly like that against somebody that can crack like that. That's what I say when David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez talks come up. I say he's not going to be able to just get in there and continue to walk forward and continue to take punches versus Canelo Alvarez like that because Canelo can crack. So this fight was going to be a war. And what's happening with it? Kwame East, Loyal to the Game, Boxing Talk. Make sure that y'all go sub to my brother, Loyal to the Game, Boxing Talk right here on YouTube. And make sure that y'all go sub to Uppercuts Boxing Nation on Facebook. And Mr. DBMH, what's happening with it? Salute. Y'all hit my like button. If you're in the building, smash on the like button. That's all I ask of you. Smash on the like button. But yeah, so it's a lot of you know, bad news. We getting bad news. It's a black dark cloud over boxing. It's like ain't nothing good been happening in boxing lately. You feel me? It's a dark cloud. We supposed to be getting a lot of fights this weekend, right? But before I even get into that, you know, I don't even want to get off subject, but let's get back to the David Benavidez catching COVID-19. These guys, you see a lot of these guys, when you see them, they out here with no mask on. They walking around like, you know, without a care in the world, like COVID-19 ain't taking place no more. And they got to stop this shit. They got to go back to being very cautious like they were, you know, last year around this time. They got to go back being very cautious because we see this COVID-19 stuff, this shit is real and it ain't going nowhere. So, yeah, David Benavidez, I'm not going to speculate on how he caught it, but you just got to be more careful because now you lost out on the bag. But I always want to look at the positive aspects, right? Now, right? Listen to what I got to say. Now that David Benavidez has caught COVID-19 and he's going to have to be on the shelf for however long, you know, in this fight with him and Jose Uzukataki is canceled. Hey, David Benavidez and Jamal Charlo, it's a fight that should happen next. We know that Canelo Alvarez is in negotiations with Caleb Plant. If that fight happens, if Caleb Plant and Canelo Alvarez fight happens, David Benavidez and Jamal Charlo need to happen. Jamal Charlo ain't got no more excuses, right? You're healed. We know that Jamal Charlo broke his hand in his last fight. He said he all healed up. He had an excuse, right? David Benavidez already had a fight scheduled. Before that, you scheduled your fight against Juan Montiel. But now, this opens up the gates for both of y'all, right? The gate is open. If you dogs, if you lions, go in there and go play with each other. You see what I'm saying? Get down with each other. Ain't no more excuses. We all know David Benavidez want all of the smoke. Jamal Charlo, I mean, you sitting around, you ain't doing nothing. Like what's that commercial, that DeVry commercial back in the day? You know, you ain't got nothing to do. Hey, you sitting around, Jamal Charlo, you ain't got no opponent on the radar. You ain't got no big name opponent. You're not gonna fight Daniel Jacobs. You made it clear that you're not gonna fight Demetrius Andrade. Triple G not gonna fight you. So you ain't got nothing else to do. This could be a good sign for boxing if Jamal Charlo want to hold his nuts, right? If he want to hold his nuts and do something great. If he want to hold his nuts and do something great. David Benavidez even said he'll meet that man in a catchweight. Jamal Charlo been quiet as a church mouse. You ain't heard nothing from him on that topic. So what's happening? What's up? What's happening? You feel me? And as far as this situation, it could open up the doors for Caleb Plant and David Benavidez. If Caleb Plant and Canelo Alvarez fight don't take place, because it's still gonna be hard for Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant to get that deal done. Because I'm gonna let y'all know right now, we're not gonna see Canelo Alvarez fight on the PBC pay-per-view. That's why the fight fell through. I keep telling y'all, he don't want to do no business with PBC like that. We're not gonna see him fight on PBC. So, and I don't think that we're gonna see Caleb Plant go over to DAZN unless they pay Caleb Plant $10 million or more to go to DAZN, right? So that fight is gonna be hard to make happen, right? Unless DAZN and PBC can come up with some type of joint venture pay-per-view to where they can split the bag down the middle and they can make it happen. Both fighters can get what they want as far as money-wise, and the networks can split the bag and they can have a joint promotion. That's the only way I see that happening. So it's going to be very hard for them to make this fight happen. So if that fight don't take place and the fight falls through, right, that can open up the floodgates for David Benavidez and Caleb Plant to fight in November or sometime. So if boxing really want to, rebound, right, for all of the mishaps that's happened in boxing, hey, they can rebound and they can come back real big. But they got to make these fights that the fans have been demanding. And this David Benavidez catching COVID situation, it's an unfortunate situation because, of course, I wanted to see him in the ring against Jose Uzukataki. But we're not going to see that fight. But they can turn it into a positive situation. I'm explaining to y'all how they can turn a negative into a positive. But we need these fighters to step up to the plate, like Jamal Charlo. And if Caleb Plant don't get to fight with Canelo Alvarez and David Benavidez is out there, well, Caleb Plant, he need to be fighting David Benavidez. Because ain't none of these guys getting no more passes at all. Right? If the fights that you're trying to make, if they don't fall through, well, I need to see you in there in the ring with another big name because it's that time. The boxing fans need it. You need it for your career, and that's just what time it is, straight up and down. Cassandra Mason says, yeah, they should make that fight happen, Benavidez versus Charlo, but for some reason, Charlo avoiding Benavidez. Charlo avoiding Benavidez, and it's plain and simple. You can't call a man out and then go run and duck and hide. Charlo looking bad out here, and I don't really want to get on Charlo like that, but you talking about you will never fight Demetrius Andrade, right? How can you say you want to do great things in boxing and you want to dominate the 160-pound division and show everybody that you're the best, right? But you got Demetrius Andrade that has a belt, a major title, in your division and you saying that you refuse to fight him? Then you call out David Benavidez and you talk about you want to do something great, but then you say that you're not gonna fight him neither at 168 pounds. I don't understand. You know, I don't understand these dudes. Yeah, Texas needs to be on his ass, on his head heavy. So yeah, so we gonna see, man. We gonna see. At this point in time, we've lost. So let's just name some of the fights that we've lost. We've lost and I'm gonna name the big fights. Of course, Wilder Fury, Manny Pacquiao, Errol Spence, um, David Benavidez and Jose Uzukataki. Um, let me see. We lost Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant so far. Let me see. And I can just go down the list. It goes on and on. It goes on and on. Do you know what this is doing to boxing and the boxing promoters? Right? So this is what's going to happen. When everything finally gets back to normal, you know what's going to happen? These boxing promoters are going to hike up the ticket prices so high. Because if you look at the Deontay Wilder fight against Tyson Fury and Errol Spence versus Manny Pacquiao, they already did it. The ticket prices for those fights, what they would usually be at, they had put like 30-40% on the price. They was already hiking up the price. So what you think they're going to do from here on out when they do finally get shit in order? If they do finally get shit in order, if everything, you know, ever go back to normal, we don't even know that. But what you think they're going to do to the ticket prices and all of that? What y'all think? Man, they gonna hike up these ticket prices so high. Then they gonna start trying to make us pay for everything. They gonna start trying to put every little thing on pay-per-view. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna, on the pay-per-view cards, like we've been seeing, they're gonna put a whole bunch of trash fights on the cards, and it's gonna be one good fight on the card. That's gonna be the main event. And the reason they do that is because so they could pay the fighters, the main event fighters, what they need to be paid, what they want. And then they dish out pennies to the rest of the card. That's how these promoters play. But that's not good for the fans because we don't want to sit and watch 2 hours of a bullshit card and get one fight on there and then pay $80, $90 for a pay-per-view. Don't nobody want to do that. And then they complain about people streaming. Well, that's why people started streaming. It's crazy. Yeah. Leon Robinson said they already started that when they put Ruiz versus Arreola on. Exactly. That wasn't no pay-per-view fight, although the fight turned out to be pay-per-view worthy because it was a great fight, right? But it wasn't a pay-per-view fight. That was a free TV fight. But it's crazy because boxing fans are losing. Yeah, the promoters and the promotional company, they losing, right? They losing money big time. You can only imagine how much they losing. But boxing fans are losing because now we on here having to talk about fights that never happens, and it's crazy. Henry King, he says they're gonna start demanding fighters to get vaccines or they won't fight. Way too many fights being canceled along with losing money. Getting a vaccine, that shit don't mean nothing. That vaccine don't mean shit. Straight up and down. You still can get any type of form of COVID if you vaccinated. So that ain't gonna stop shit. They saying that, oh, well, if you get when you get the vaccine, right? When you get the vaccine, all it does is it lowers your risk of getting real sick. Well, a lot of people is getting hella sick and being in the hospital after they get the vaccine. My neighbor just died a couple months ago. My next door neighbor just died a couple months ago, right? Right after he got the vaccine, he all of a sudden caught a heart attack. That shit don't sound fishy. Come on now. But yeah, and he was telling me, he was telling me like, yeah, you know, man, I went and got, because he had got sick from COVID. He had caught COVID, and you know, he was fine. It didn't even affect him like that. He had caught COVID, you know. Other people in his household had got real sick, but it didn't really affect him like that. You know, he was cool. He just had like a little, you know, cold symptoms or whatever. He was straight, right? Didn't affect him like that. After he caught COVID, he told me, he said, man, I'm going to go get this vaccine because he was like, I'm going to go get vaccinated. He went and got vaccinated. He was cool. He said, he was like, I'm going to go get this second shot. He went and got the second shot, and then right after that, not even a week after that, he ended up dying of a heart attack. And, you know, and that's a true story. So, you know, I ain't gonna get into how I feel about that vaccine, but you know, that's each to own. For you know, everybody got their own opinions and whatever. It is what it is. Cassandra Mason said, you better start watching WWE. Hey, my daughters, they love watching WWE. My daughters, they love them divas. So one of my daughters, she swear up and down she want to be a WWE diva. So yeah, I'll be watching it when they watch it. I'll catch it when they watch it, you know. I got them that little I bought them that app. What is it? The app that all the WWE pay-per-views and stuff. So they got it in their room, so they be watching it. They be getting too rough with each other because they be really, really going at it with each other. I have to stop them sometimes. DP Rocker said he took it. Yeah, my pops took it. He cool, but I don't know. I think they got, you know, they got, yeah, Peacock app. Yeah, I bought them that Peacock app. But yeah, my pops took it, you know, and he's trying to, he took it. He was cool, but you know, I think they got certain ones. I don't know. Like I said, I don't think they're giving the same shit to everybody. But anyway, you know, these fighters, they got to be more careful. They got to be a lot more careful when it comes to, you know, protecting themselves against COVID-19. Anyway, with that being said, let's move on. Shit. So I want to talk about some of these fights this weekend before we get into, you know, the main topic. I want to go over and I'm going to let y'all know some of the fights that's taking place this weekend, okay? And I'm going to just name Austin Trout is coming back. He fighting this weekend. He fighting Alejandro Davila. And shout out to my man, Stay Ready Boxing TV. Stay Ready Boxing TV. If y'all want to go check that out, he had Austin Trout on his channel last week, and it was a great interview. So Austin Trout, he making a comeback. He's going to be fighting this weekend. He's actually fighting on Friday, right? But other than that, let's see. We got Raymond Ford. He fighting on DAZN. Raymond Ford he's fighting on DAZN. He fighting a tough opponent too. Bellotti. That's going to be a good fight. We also got Gary Antonio Russell, but he's fighting on the Errol Spence, on the Manny Pacquiao undercard. So this weekend we got Gary Antonio Russell. He fighting this weekend. He fighting Emmanuel Rodriguez, right? Emmanuel Rodriguez and Gary Antonio Russell. That's going to be a hell of a fight. That is going to be a great fight. I'm looking forward to that fight. And shout out to Gary Antonio Russell. We got the rematch. We got Jason Maloney versus Joshua Night Greer. You know, Joshua Greer that be, you know, carrying the pillow in the ring. My man Joshua Greer, shout out to him. He fighting Jason Maloney, but he a big underdog in this fight. And I think that Jason Maloney, he gonna beat Joshua Greer. Even though I ride with Joshua Greer and I like him, I think Jason Maloney gonna beat him. And if you don't know Jason Maloney, he got a twin brother that's going to be fighting on that night, Andrew Maloney. Now, y'all know Andrew Maloney and Joshua Franco, they having that rematch this weekend too on Top Rank, right? That's going to be a hell of a fight. You also got Rene Alvarado versus Roger Gutierrez. That's going to be another fight, a great fight this weekend. We already talked about Virgil Ortiz versus Ugas Kavaliauskas. So it's a lot of good fights going on this weekend. Let's just cross our fingers and make sure that we get all these fights. Let's make sure that we get all these fights that I just named and nothing bad happens, like an injury or COVID, you know? So let's talk about, right? So let's just pray and hope that we get those fights. But right now, I want to talk about what's been going on lately. Okay, now we know we got Errol Spence and we got Yordenis Ugas. We got Errol Spence and Ugas, and this gonna be. I'm sorry, my bad. I'm tripping right now. We got Yordenis Ugas and Manny Pacquiao, right? We got Yordenis Ugas and Manny Pacquiao. And what y'all think about that fight? It's a lot of questions surrounding this fight. How does Yordenis Ugas look? Yordenis Ugas was training to fight Fabian Madonna, just another opponent. He wasn't training to go in there in the fight of his life, right? How is Yordenis Ugas going to look against Manny Pacquiao? Manny Pacquiao was training against the best. He was training to get in there to fight the best. So Manny Pacquiao was already locked in, loaded in that mode. You dig what I'm saying? Manny Pacquiao was already looking to fight the best. You know, Errol Spence is better than Yordenis Ugas. I don't care what nobody say. Errol Spence is a better fighter than Yordenis Ugas. So Manny Pacquiao was already locked in. How does this fight take place? It's a much different stylistic fight. But in some ways, you know, Errol Spence and Yordenis Ugas, they do a lot of the same things, right? They both strong physically. Errol Spence, Errol Spence, he's a tremendous body puncher. Yordenis Ugas is a good body puncher. He go to the body a lot. I don't think that he has the ferociousness as Errol Spence, but he do go to the body a lot. Errol Spence's jab is much better than Yordenis Ugas, but Yordenis Ugas, he do got a good jab. So is he going to be able to, you know, keep up with Manny Pacquiao? The angles that Manny Pacquiao gives him, right? Is Yordenis Ugas going to be able to take Manny Pacquiao's power? So it's a lot of questions to be answered. And now a lot of people talking about how is this pay-per-view going to do? Because I'm going to keep it real with you. That pay-per-view was going to do big numbers. And a lot of it had to do with Errol Spence. We know that Errol Spence alone is going to bring in 350,000 pay-per-views, right? At least, especially fighting the Manny Pacquiao, at least 350K. That's what he does when he goes in the ring against the Danny Garcias and Sean Porters and Mikey Garcias, right? He doing 350,000. So imagine how big that Errol Spence was going to do against Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao was going to do together. Now, a lot of people are not going to pay for the pay-per-view. Simply, and I'm not hating on this fight because it's still a very great fight, but a lot of people are not going to pay for the pay-per-view now because they was paying to see Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao. A lot of people don't know, especially the casuals, they have no idea who Yordenis Ugas is. So now they're not going to pay to see Manny Pacquiao against Yordenis Ugas because a lot of casual fans, they're going to look at it like, oh, Manny Pacquiao just fighting a nobody. He going to go in there and beat him. Even though this is still a dangerous fight for Manny Pacquiao. Even though I got Manny Pacquiao winning the fight, it's still a dangerous fight. DP Rocket says, I heard it might be free now. Ain't no way in hell they going to put Manny Pacquiao on free TV. It ain't going to happen because in order to do that, you would have to cut Manny Pacquiao's purse down a whole lot. And Manny Pacquiao ain't taking no pay cut. You dig what I'm saying? They got to pay that man. And they not going to be able to pay Manny Pacquiao putting that on free TV. So yeah, ain't no way they're gonna put that on free TV. But and then the ticket sales. A lot of people not gonna go to that fight no more. I'm not going to that fight no more. A lot of people I heard that I knew that was going to the fight. They said they not going to the fight no more. So how's the ticket sales going? They're gonna have to give away some of them tickets now. And especially the Philippines, in the Philippines, they can't fly over here yet, I heard. The Philippines are not flying into the US yet. So they're gonna have to take the ticket prices down very, a lot. The remaining tickets to that fight, they're gonna have to sell those tickets for much less. And you know what? I'm gonna pull up something right now. I want to see what those ticket sales are looking like. I'm gonna pull it up right now on my phone. I'm gonna let y'all know. Manny Pacquiao versus Yordenis Ugas. Tickets. Let me see what these ticket sales is looking like. Or let me see what the ticket prices is looking like. My bad. And okay, here it is right here. Pacquiao versus Ugas. Get tickets. Let's see what it's looking like. So, look at this, y'all. The ticket price range now is from $210 to $6,000, right? 210. That's the lowest you can get tickets for, right? And before, you know what the lowest that you could get in the door for when it was Errol Spence? I think it was like $765. That was the lowest ticket to get you in the door. You was gonna have to spend almost $800. Now to get you in the door is $210. The ticket prices went way down already, and this is just the day after. Imagine what these ticket prices are gonna do. And let me see. Yep. And it's seats available that wasn't available before. They got seats available now for this fight that they opened up that you weren't able to get before. That's crazy. So it looks like they got a lot of seats available now that you weren't able to get before. A lot of even on the floor. They opened up seats on the floor that you weren't even able to get before. Let me see what the price is looking like. 2,500 seats that you weren't even able to get before on the floor. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 rows back is 2,500 right now. But those ticket prices are gonna go way down from that. Let's see what it's looking like. The second tier section right above the floor, that's only 7 rows back. And you can actually see the fight better in that section than you can on the floor, right? Let's see what those ticket prices are looking like. 2,500. Yeah, the ticket prices go, and they're gonna go down. Look for the ticket prices. So, and it sucks for people that already bought tickets, right? Because now people that already bought tickets, the same tickets that they already bought, they're gonna go down 30, 40%. The same tickets, even more than that. The same tickets that they already bought, those tickets are gonna go down 30 to 40%. And so, you know what I'm laughing at though? What I'm really laughing at is all of the brokers that go up, that go out, right? And they get access to the tickets before anybody does, even the family members of the fighters, and they go fucking buy all of the tickets on the floor. They go up, buy all of the tickets in the next section. So when the tickets come out, the fans are not even able to get those tickets unless they go to StubHub and pay 6 and 7 times more because they didn't bought the tickets and they didn't hiked up the ticket prices 6 and 7 times more than what they the face value of the tickets are. Now I'm laughing at them because now them motherfuckers are stuck with them tickets. So you know what I'm saying? So they trying to hustle people, but now they stuck with them tickets. Now I'm laughing at their ass. It's gonna be real funny now. You know what I'm saying? They trying to hustle people, buying up all the tickets from the fans, and then trying to charge the fans, 6 and 7 times more than what the ticket prices really are. Huh? We getting the last laugh now. Now who laughing? Now they gonna be stuck with them fucking tickets, and they gonna have to give them away. But yeah, Ugas and Manny Pacquiao. Sheena said, what if there's a first round KO after paying so much? It happens in boxing. You know what I'm saying? It does happen in boxing. Shit, Keith Thurman almost got his ass knocked out in the first round. And I was at that fight. And I paid a lot for that ticket. But nothing like these ticket prices. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I was able to get to Keith Thurman. You know what? I think I didn't even have to pay. I think I paid under $1,000, and I had like super good seats for that Keith Thurman and Manny Pacquiao fight. And I think I paid under $1,000 for that ticket, right? And it just goes to show you that the ticket price was super high because it was Errol Spence facing Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao tickets alone don't be that high. And Keith Thurman is a big name, but the ticket prices weren't that high with Keith Thurman and Manny Pacquiao, right? But look at the ticket prices with Errol Spence. It was going to take you almost $800 just to get in the door for the Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao fight. Now they're going to have to get them tickets away. And a lot of people going to ask for refunds because they paid such high prices to get the tickets to Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao. And now it's not the same fight. And salute to BB in the building. Ed Rock, he says, yeah, Ugas had he's talking to somebody else. But yeah, Ugas can win this fight. I got Manny Pacquiao, but Ugas can win this fight. Boxing B says Dan Raphael was reporting all tickets are refundable, so those scalpers will get their money back. All tickets are refundable. Yeah, because they're going to have to resell these tickets now at a much, much cheaper price. The price ain't going to be the same. The price is not going to be the same. Carlos Bonilla, if you're going to come in here, right, and you don't know boxing and you don't know what you're talking about, don't post nothing in the chat because you're just coming in here saying dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, or if you don't know what's going on, if you want to post, ask. Because posting stuff like Errol Spence gave up his belt That's not true. Errol Spence didn't have to give up none of his titles. So I don't know where you're getting your information from, man. But salute to you, Carlos. But if you don't know, ask. That's not true. Like the information that you putting in the chat is not true at all. Bobby says, he says, I pity early ticket buyers that lost large amounts of money. Yeah, and see, I never bought a ticket to Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao. I was getting my ticket when I got out there because I actually have a ticket scalper guy. I got a ticket guy, and my ticket guy, I get tickets from him when I get to, well, the past year he left Vegas, but he's back in Vegas now. So, you know, I just link up with him and I get whatever seats I want when I get out there. You know, I got to pay for them. Of course, I got to pay regular price for them, but I get whatever seats I want. So he always saved me. You know, I let him know what tickets I want on the floor or whatever, and he'll save them for me. And, but I'm not going out there now. So I didn't buy no ticket. Now for the Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury fight, I had bought my tickets for that fight already. And they actually finally did give me a refund for that fight. They did send me my refund back. It took them a long time, but they did give it to me. A super chat. I didn't see no super chat. Let me see. Oh shit, I missed it. Salute Dusty Storm in the building. He says Pac-Man gonna probably kill Ugas. Get well soon, Errol. Nah, y'all underestimating Ugas. You know, I know a lot of y'all might not be familiar with boxing like that or familiar with Yordenis Ugas. And salute to you once again, but Pac-Man is not gonna run through Yordenis Ugas like that. Yordenis Ugas is a hell of a fighter. Yordenis Ugas is a hell of a fighter. But yeah, and once again, I didn't even see the super chat in there. I didn't see you had super chatted, but salute to you. So let's talk about the hate that Errol Spence is getting. You know what I'm saying? And I want y'all haters to come in the building, right? I want y'all haters to come in the building, right? Everybody is trying to run with this fucking hateful shit. You got Terrence Crawford. I don't even want to call them. They just all Errol Spence haters. You know what I'm talking about? You got these fucking weirdos running around talking about Errol Spence is faking the injury because he was scared of Manny Pacquiao, right? So he pulled out of the fight because he's afraid of Manny Pacquiao. Then you got other fucking weirdos talking about, Errol Spence was getting beat up in sparring. He was getting beat up in sparring. When have you ever heard of Errol Spence getting beat up in sparring? You motherfuckers take a 30-second clip of some sparring and run with the shit. You take a 30-second clip of some sparring and run with the shit. You don't know the circumstances. You don't know if Errol Spence had already been training for 3 hours, had already worked out, you don't know if that was the third or fourth sparring partner that Errol Spence had. Y'all just as ignorant. Boxing fans are some of the most ignorant fans on the face of the fucking planet. I swear. Errol Spence had been calling for Manny Pacquiao ever since 2018. Calling for him. Invite Manny Pacquiao in the ring. Begging for Manny Pacquiao fight for years. And all of a sudden, Errol Spence is just going to pull out of a fight because he's afraid of Manny Pacquiao. You got to be a fucking fool if you believe some shit like that. To let some stuff like anybody that's watching this, if you let some shit like that come out of your mouth, you are a fucking idiot. And your mama should have swallowed you. If you let some shit like that come out of your mouth, you're a fucking idiot and your mama should have swallowed you. Like, it don't even make sense. If you saying shit that you know that is not true, that you know that you don't believe yourself, you're a fucking clown. That's all you are. You're a clown. Ain't no way in hell Errol Spence was gonna fake an injury to get out of fighting Manny Pacquiao, a man that he's been praying to fight for years. Come on, y'all sound fucking stupid. And then y'all that's talking about Errol Spence is done. Okay, newsflash: Errol Spence is gonna be back very soon. He didn't suffer a serious he didn't suffer a fully torn retina. It was partially torn. He'll be able to get surgery and he'll be good in a few weeks. Errol Spence will be good in back training within a month from now. And Errol Spence, you know, he tweeted or he posted on his Instagram, letting everybody know that he's definitely coming back to fight the winner. Now, there could be a problem, like I stated yesterday, because Errol Spence is gonna be good. He's gonna have his eye surgery. He's in good mood. He's actually in good spirits. He was actually on his Instagram. He was laughing because some of his friends was playing, like throwing little jokes at him in comment section, talking about, "Oh, you're gonna have a clear eye view now." And Errol Spence was laughing back and forth with his homeboys. You know, he in good spirits. He gonna heal up fast. And the thing is, though, right? This is the only thing. Is Errol Spence says that he's going to fight the winner, no doubt. And no doubt, if Yordenis Ugas wins the fight, Yordenis Ugas and Errol Spence will be taking place next. Either, you know, in early 2022, right? He'll be back. But if Manny Pacquiao wins, that's going to be a complicated situation because in 2022, Manny Pacquiao is running for president of the Philippines. Salute to Manny Pacquiao. I hope he wins. But with that being said, if Manny Pacquiao is running for president, Manny Pacquiao don't have to defend that title until I think Manny Pacquiao got like a full year before he has to defend his title. So Manny Pacquiao can hold up the whole division. Now, Manny Pacquiao has stated that he will fight Errol Spence. He don't have no problem with getting Errol Spence a shot if he beats Yordenis Ugas. But when will that be? If you're running for president and doing all of that, you're not going to be able to train for an Errol Spence fight at the same time. And we know Manny Pacquiao never fights more than ever since like what 2000 and well, let me make sure because I don't want to make some shit up. Right? I don't want to be wrong. Hold on. Let me see. Make sure I got my facts straight. So, well, yeah. So, Manny Pacquiao in 2019, he fought twice. In 2018, he only fought once. In 2017, he only fought once. So, Manny Pacquiao really only fights once a year anyway. You know, pretty much ever since 2017, Manny Pacquiao has only been fighting once a year. He fought twice a year in 2019, and that's pretty much, he fought twice in 2019, and that's pretty much it. Ever since 2017, Manny Pacquiao has only been fighting once a year. So with that being said, when will we see Manny Pacquiao back in the ring if he beats Yordenis Ugas? And I like Manny Pacquiao. I'm a bigger fan of Manny Pacquiao than I am of Ugas. But for the sake of boxing, I'm going to be rooting for Ugas to win this fight because I don't want Manny Pacquiao holding up the 147-pound division. I really don't. I don't want him holding up the division, and I don't want to have to wait to see a fight between Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao until like the end of next year or something. I don't want to have to wait because Manny Pacquiao has other obligations that he has to attend to. Running for presidency takes up a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of other things that he's not going to be able to have time to train for a mega fight against Errol Spence. And that's just the truth. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't want him holding up the division. It's nothing against Manny Pacquiao at all. I just don't want him holding up the whole welterweight division and holding on to that WBA strap. But as far as y'all clowns that's running around here hating, hold on. Let me get this fucking clown ass faggot off of my shit. I'm gonna go ahead and help you leave, you sucker ass faggot. And I should have blocked your bitch ass earlier. Now that he's gone, you know what I'm saying? One of them fucking weirdos that come from Money Brown channel. A lot of fucking I don't know where that fucking where these weirdos is popping up out of. But anyway, get his ass up out of here. But like I said, man, yeah, man, I don't want Manny Pacquiao holding up the whole fucking division for real. And it's nothing against Manny Pacquiao. It's just that he has other things that he got to do, and I don't want him holding up the whole division. Sheena say it's good Manny has to fight Ugas. I mean, bring something besides your ass to the fight for Spence, for Spence's 2 belts, and that's if Manny even beats Ugas. So yeah, I'm letting y'all know I'm rooting for Yordenis Ugas to win this fight now, because it's better for boxing, and it don't have nothing to do with having anything against Manny Pacquiao, because I love Manny Pacquiao as a fighter. But yo, I don't want him holding up the division. We need boxing to move on. We need boxing to continue to move. We already, not getting the fights that we want. So yeah, let's get it moving. So for everybody that don't know, like I said, once again, Errol Spence is not going to be out long. He only had a partial tear. He had a partial tear. It wasn't a full tear to his retina. He'll be cool. He's going to get surgery soon, and he'll be back, and he'll be able to train soon. So he'll be good, And it's a blessing that he's not going to be out for a long time, because of the simple fact is he won't have time to, blow up and weight, and, he's going to be able to heal and get right back into training. Let his body rest a little bit, heal, and get right back into training. So for all y'all saying that Errol Spence career is done and all of that, well, I'm sorry to tell y'all that is not going to happen. Errol Spence will be right back. So, make sure that y'all keep that same energy. Make sure that all of the hate energy that you Terrence Crawford fans been having, that you Manny Pacquiao fans is coming out of nowhere have been having, and just essentially all the Errol Spence haters, make sure that you keep that same energy. That's all I'm asking. That is all I'm asking of you. When Errol Spence come back stronger than ever, make sure that you keep that same energy. What's happening with Bud versus Sheena say what's happening with Bud versus Spence? I mean Sean Porter. I don't know why I keep on calling everybody Spence. What's happening with Bud versus Sean Porter? Well, in the recent interview, Bud Crawford said he don't know what's happening with that. He said he don't know what's going on. He just kind of sitting back and waiting to see what happened with that. I'm telling y'all, Bud Crawford versus Sean Porter is not going to happen next. But remember, I told y'all that. It's too complicated. And it don't really make sense for that fight to happen next if Bud Crawford is going to be a free agent. Henry King said Manny already said he gonna fight EJ in 2022. That makes me think they finna rob Ugas. I'm gonna tell you, me and Money was talking about this last night too, right? I'm gonna let y'all know if this is a close fight on the scorecards. Say if Ugas wins, and we all know that Ugas wins, but it's a kind of a close fight. Ain't no way they're gonna get a fight to Ugas. They either gonna give the fight to Manny Pacquiao with a split decision or a majority decision, or they're going to rule it a draw. So don't be surprised if this fight ends in a draw. Because if Ugas beats Pacquiao, and we all know, and it ends in a draw, well, that means that, you know, Pacquiao don't have no L on his record, and Ugas don't neither. Well, you know, as far as this fight, they both got L's on their record, but you know what I'm saying. Neither fighter loses. So don't be surprised if the fight ends in a draw. J.A. Dixon said, I feel like announcing that fight being in the works was just to take some heat off of Bud. I think they trying to play Bud too. They trying to get Bud, you know, at the last minute to re-sign with Top Rank. You know what I'm saying? They trying to, you know, get Bud, talk Bud into re-signing with Top Rank at the last minute. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? We got this play for you. We gonna make this Porter fight happen. Re-sign with us. It's a lot of dirty shit that's going on in the background that y'all don't know about, you know. But that, I don't think that fight is gonna take place. Next. Now, if Bud do go and become a free agent or do go over to PBC, that could be a fight that takes place in 2022. But Manny Pacquiao is excited that he's getting this Ugas fight. Manny Pacquiao is now, he came out and he let everybody know, like, he kind of excited about this shit because Manny Pacquiao, he felt some type of way with them taking his title, and Manny Pacquiao is letting everybody know, look, I'm going to show everybody now who the real champion is. Now I get to show everybody that I never lost my WBA strap and I am the real champion. And he's saying that Yordenis Ugas got a belt that he don't deserve. He's saying Yordenis Ugas is running around here with a belt that he does not deserve, that he didn't earn. And he's saying, look, I'm going to beat it out of him. Manny Pacquiao saying he going to beat it out of Yordenis Ugas. I'm going to show him and I'm going to show the world that I was already the real champion anyway. He got something that was rightfully mine. So I'm going to come and I'm going to take it from him. I'm going to take my shit back. So Manny Pacquiao, he letting it be known that he has something to prove in this fight with Ugas. And to me, like I said yesterday, I think Ugas is at a big disadvantage because Ugas was not preparing to go in there and fight the caliber opponent of Manny Pacquiao. Ugas was going in there and preparing to fight just another no-name opponent. You know what I'm saying? He was going in there and preparing himself to fight another opponent. It was like, I'm going to go in there, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to beat this dude. I'm going to train hard, but I'm not going to do nothing extra because I'm fighting Fabian Madonna. This dude ain't got shit on me. Now, it's like when you are preparing to fight a name like Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao, Terrence Crawford, and, just the big names. When you preparing to fight the biggest names in the sport, you train harder. You implement different things in your training regimen that you're not usually doing when you just fighting a no-name opponent. So, yeah, I think Ugas is at a disadvantage because he wasn't training to get in there in the ring against a killer like Manny Pacquiao. He was training to get in there in the ring against just another opponent. So, can Ugas step it up? The lights are going to be shining on Ugas. He's never been in this position to where he's, fought a mega superstar like Manny Pacquiao. You got thousands of fans cheering and watching, and all eyes are on you. It's different. But we're going to see how Ugas can perform under those lights. We're going to be able to see real soon. Will buys comfort Omaha. What's happening with it? Charming Chucky. Will buys. He said that the hate for Errol Spence is not as bad as the hate for Terrence Crawford. Man, you crazy. Are you seeing this shit that they saying about Errol Spence? The hate for Errol Spence is way past Terrence Crawford. And really, Terrence Crawford don't get hated on like that. When people talk about Terrence Crawford, they talk about facts. They talk about that he still hasn't fought the biggest names in boxing, which is a fact, right? They talk about Terrence Crawford in his business, right? How he should have never signed with Top Rank. That's a fact. And you got some people that's talking like, oh, Terrence Crawford is ducking everybody, but that's a very small margin of people. Most people, when they talk about Terrence Crawford, they talk about how he needs to be fighting the best opponents in the best competition and how he hasn't never fought the best competition yet. That's basically it. They talking about Errol Spence talking about he's a fucking drunk, right? Oh, the drunk duck Pacquiao. He was scared because I've seen all type of shit talking about the drunk duck Pacquiao. He was scared because he ain't nothing but a drunk and he want to go run off and go on the drinking binge, right? You got guys saying that he was getting beat up in sparring and he lost his confidence, so that's why he was scared to get in the ring with Manny Pacquiao. He faked the injury. You got all type of dudes saying all type of weird shit. You got Terrence Crawford, right? You got Terrence Crawford's own nephew and Terrence Crawford's family saying weird shit like that. Saying that Errol Spence, I knew he wasn't going to get in the ring with Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, he's faking the injury. Let's see if he can come up with doctor notes. That's Terrence Crawford's own people saying shit like that. So imagine the shit that you're hearing from just these weirdo ass fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. About what? What did they get on Bud Crawford about? What was it about? Because if you saying I didn't see it, but if you saying that they flame Bud, it just depends on your interpretation of flaming somebody. Because if they're flaming Bud about he's saying that he's really have legit reason why he's not able to perform August 20. So if they're flaming Bud, right, it just depends what your interpretation of that is. Because if they're flaming Bud on those things that I'm talking about, well, you can look at it as hate, but it's not hate if it's an actual fact. When you're making up just corny ass shit, that's hate. When you call the man a fucking drunk and you know what I'm saying, he was a drunk, that's why he was scared and pulled out of the Manny Pacquiao fight. When you saying a man is faking an injury because he's scared, like that shit is hate. That's you're making up false shit. You're making up false information, right? So it's crazy, you know? And if anybody that believes that shit, that Errol Spence pulled out of a Manny Pacquiao fight because he was getting beat up in sparring or he was scared of Manny Pacquiao, you're a damn fool. And I don't give a fuck who you are. You're a fool. If you believe that shit, if you even fathom to believe some shit like that. J.A. Dixon says they blamed Bud and his team for being haters the whole time and not really fighting anybody and deciding to stay on that side knowing all the smoke was over at PBC for 147. That ain't hate, bro. That's not hate. That's a fact. A fact is Bud Crawford and his team are pure downright haters and they jealous. If you go look at my video, right? I backed my video up. I'm gonna show you what video and I'm talking about, right? If y'all go watch this video, you can't deny it. I backed it up with audio footage. Where is it at? This video right here that I made about Terrence Crawford. If you go down my timeline, I made a video about Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, right? And how Terrence Crawford just recently threw another shot at Errol Spence, right? But I went down the timeline on just a small part of the history of how Terrence Crawford has been hating on Errol Spence. But that's not even half of the shit that his team members have been saying. That's not even half of the things that his team members have been saying. Terrence Crawford, nephew, that he be with almost every day, was the first person to come on and start laughing and posting back to back to back about Errol Spence when he found out that Errol Spence had to pull out of the fight because of an eye injury, right? He was the first one that came on saying outrageous shit, hate. That's hate. What they saying about Terrence Crawford, that's not hate. That's a fact. And for your information, for you damn fools, and I'm glad you came in here and said that, because I actually talked about that yesterday. Love them down, gather. Like my man said, the Nevada State Athletic Commission stopped Errol Spence from fighting. Errol Spence didn't stop nothing. Errol Spence was trying to actually be a whole motherfucking warrior and the soldier that he is. He was actually trying to go through with the fight. And they wouldn't clear him to fight. They refused to clear him to fight. That's what y'all is missing, right? So y'all sound like fucking idiots. Errol Spence was actually trying to go through with the fight, and he couldn't get cleared to fight. If the Nevada State Athletic Commission says, no, we're not clearing you to get in the ring, it ain't nothing you can do. But some of y'all just some fucking retards. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all just retarded. And you just, you know what I'm saying? You just retarded. Like I said, it's just, it ain't really nothing else to explain. Just fucking plain out stupid. And a lot of y'all are Terrence Crawford fans, because I'm seeing a lot of the comments coming from Terrence Crawford fans. Errol Spence ducked Manny Pacquiao. We knew he was gonna duck Manny Pacquiao. He was scared of the old man and this, and that. Y'all dudes is fucking weirdos. You know what I'm saying? The man went through to 3 different doctors when they told him that he couldn't fight. Like my man Keith James said, he went to 3 different doctors trying to get, different opinions, trying to find a doctor to say, you know what, I'll clear you. You can fight. All of them said, nope, we can't clear you, man. I'm sorry, but we can't clear you. Y'all motherfuckers is weirdos. But anyway, with that being said, man, hit my like button. I know they didn't send out my notifications today. I know they didn't send out my notifications today because they didn't even send me a notification on my other YouTube account. So I know they weren't sending most of my notifications out. They were sprinkling my notifications out to a few people here and there. But it is what it is. The show must go on. Make sure that y'all hit my like button. Just bad news every day in boxing. Let's hope that, we get these fights coming up this weekend. Hit my like button once again if you haven't hit the like button yet. And I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Until next time, y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again, and I'm gone.